Maya, my little sister is coming back home, so could you take the car to the airport and get her?
Wait, you want me to go there right now?
What, do you have a problem with that?
I was just asked by your mom to run out to the craft store to get her a very specific type of ballpoint pen.
Then, once you've brought that home for her and dropped it off, go back out and head towards the airport.
Hold on a second, Parker. Wasn't it supposed to be you who took the car out to the airport to go and get Leah? Oh wait, you shot that talk down because you didn't want to have to drive through traffic to go and get her. And that's why I had to come all the way to your mom's place just to be told to go out and get her favorite pen, and it's not going to be for another hour until I can be back at her place.
Well, I've already had some beers to drink, so I can't go.
What, already? It's 9 a.m., Parker.
I had no choice, okay? My dad was waiting to have some beers with me, and he had them all out on the counter with snacks this morning. You thought I'd just say no to that when I'm supposed to be his golden child?
So what you're saying is that your dad has had some beers this morning as well?
Yeah! And we both know about how my mom no longer has a driver's license anymore, so the only one legally allowed to go out and get my sister's you. So hurry up with buying that pen for my mom and get to the airport and grab her. Once Leigh is home with the rest of us, the plan is for us all to have burgers out on the grill.
All right, Parker.
My mom told me she ordered some premium beef patties from Japan, and that's what we'll be barbecuing on the grill for lunch and dinner today, and I really want to eat them as soon as possible.
I get it already, Parker.
By the way, it's because you had to work all the way up until yesterday that I wasn't able to come home to my parents' house until now.
And I told you that you could have gone to your parents' place ahead of me and I would have come later. Actually, if I recall this correctly, I tell you that every single year.
And here's another thing I forgot to say. In my family, it is the wife that should be going to her in-laws first during the holidays to work on all the cooking and chores. Yet for some reason, you...
The longer you drag on this conversation with me, the longer it will take for me to go and get your sister.
Then hurry up and get your crap together.
Jesus Christ, Parker. Maya? I'm pretty sure you're still driving out here, but... Well, I just got to the airport a little bit ago, and that's when I found out that my brother was having you drive all the way out here instead to pick me up. I'm sure you're driving still, but if you've already arrived, can you tell me where you are? Welcome back to the U.S., Leah. I'll be there in another 10 minutes or so. Do you want me to pull up to the north wing of that airport to pick you up? That would be the easiest location for me to get to and to leave from with this car. I can wait there. Oh, thank you so much for coming to get me.
Hey, Maya, did you head back out again?
Yes? Your mom was asking me to go out and get you guys some more AAA batteries.
Well, we've ran out of potato chips and dips, so can you please stop at the store and get us some more?
Are you guys going to be drinking some more? Parker, you've been drinking all day now and you need to slow down. We'd only just arrived at your mom and dad's house this morning and all you've done is sit around and drink.
Oh, what's so bad about that? We're staying at my parents' house tonight, so I don't need to go anywhere or do anything.
I understand that, but...
Just buy those dang chips and dip and come back here.
All right, chips and dip. Maya, it sounds like my mom asked you to go out and buy some more random things. And now I've overheard my brother asking you to get some things as well while you're out. You already had to take a long trip all the way to the airport to come and get me today, yet it seems you've had all sorts of other random things all day. I'm sorry, Maya. You'll never be able to relax if all they're doing is asking for you to go out and get things for them. You were already being so thoughtful by coming all the way out here. Hey, you don't have to worry about any of this. I'm totally fine here. Then what about when this happened? My mom knew that there would be 5 people at the house today who would be eating lunch, and yet she only got enough burgers and stuff for 4. So in the end, you were left with nothing to eat, and I don't think you've really had anything to eat all day, right? But you gave me half your burger, so thank you for doing that. But that had to happen because Parker and my parents seem to not care about you. I started out thinking that maybe my mom forgot about getting enough food for 5 people because she's so used to me being overseas and not at home for the holidays. But now that I've put everything that's happened to you so far today together, I can tell that they're all just harassing you. Right? If that's really what's happening here, then I'm so very sorry about my family. Do you want to go out with me and get something for dinner when you get back? Oh, that would be wonderful, Leah. Thank you. However, I've been told by your mom that as your brother's wife, I'm supposed to get used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends, so that should be fine for me tonight if that's all your family has. Huh? That's what my mom told you? You should be used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends. That's terrible. I don't actually eat any of those things though when they serve them to me. Okay, but that's still not a good thing, Maya. I've known from the very beginning that your parents and brother would never prepare anything decent for me to eat, so I make sure to always eat while I'm out of the house doing all of their needless errands. Well, as long as you're not starving all the time when you're here, that's fine. But the fact that my mom said that that was what you should be used to eating? You don't have to worry about it, Leah. Here's the thing when it comes to my relationship with your family. Once I'd married Parker and made my way over to your parents' house for the first time, I was told to stay in the kitchen until the rest of the family was done eating. And that I'd be having their leftovers for dinner. That was pretty much the first thing your mom said to me when I came into the house. She really is harassing you then. She might be, but when it comes to your brother and dad, they never really say much. But they never do anything to tell your mom off either, and will just agree with her by going, every time she tells me to do something, which means they're fine with it. Are you kidding me? Seriously, my family is such a shameful mess, and that makes me feel so bad for you. You don't have to feel bad or apologize for it, though. The fact that I know you understand what's wrong with them is more than enough to help me feel like I'll be just fine. I've been overseas for 3 years now, and not even for something serious like work, but I really wish I could have been around you more so that I could hear your side of things. Because all my family will ever tell me is how much of a bad wife you can be at times. Leah... By the way, I've made plans for my family to meet with my fiancé for the first time ever. Oh, the man you told me about before that you met overseas? That guy? Yeah, that's him. Do you think you can come home now so that you can meet him when he comes over? Wait, you want me to meet him too? Actually, the only reason I came all the way back to the States this year is so that I can talk with you. What? I thought you came here just to be around your family again. I want you to be a part of a plan that I have. But before I actually do anything, I'd like to go out with you for a bit and chat about it. Then you can have a better understanding of me.
Yo, Leia! You and Maya left the house about an hour ago after she came. Where the hell did the both of you go and why?
Oh, hi, Parker. I was just thinking about texting you.
What do you mean you were just thinking about texting me? Mom has been whining to me about how she wants Maya to start cooking dinner soon and told me to tell you guys to come home. We're waiting.
Huh? Why don't you tell Mom to start cooking dinner herself then? And if that's too difficult for her to start cooking right now, then have her go to the supermarket and pick up some pre-made food. Why would you guys even be asking for her to do all of these chores when she only just got off work for the end of the year and is in need of a break?
What? That's her job as my wife.
Because she's your wife, she has to go through all this work?
That's right, because she's my wife.
Tell me, why do you think she has to be there to make dinner tonight? Just because she's your wife?
What? Because that's what she's been told to do as my wife.
But then, what does that make of Mom? Isn't she Dad's wife?
What?
She's the wife that Dad married and made a part of his family, right?
But right now, Mom, she's also considered the mother-in-law, right?
Well, she's the only wife in that house right now since I have Maya with me helping get some things together in order to move.
Huh? In order for who to move exactly? Who's moving?
Mom and Dad, of course.
Huh? Why would the both of them be moving?
When I came back home today with Maya from the airport, I noticed that nobody had been working on getting things ready for Mom and Dad to move. So as the only one who seemed to understand what needed to happen, I decided to take Maya with me to get things ready.
Why, yo, what the heck are you going on about right now, Leah?
What?
I have literally no freaking idea what you're talking about right now.
Wait, did you not hear anything about this then? I was told by Mom and Dad that they decided on a day to have the house demolished.
Huh? The house is being demolished then?
To make matters short, the house is going to be torn down, so Mom and Dad need to hurry up and get their things together in order to move out.
Huh?
I could have sworn you were told in the group chat that really soon here the house would be getting demolished by the city. What? Hold on for a sec. Does this mean that Mom and Dad haven't even started looking for a new place to move into yet?
I'm gonna go ask Mom and Dad right now. Oh no. I just went and asked them about it, and so far it doesn't seem like they've done anything in order to prepare for the move.
Are you serious? We've been talking about this for weeks and months even, and they still haven't started to prepare and look for a new place? I've talked with them about this 3 times now.
They told me that this is their house, so nothing can happen to it, and there's nobody who can rightfully kick them out of their house. They kind of thought you were just joking about all of that stuff when you brought it up.
What the hell are you going on about? Aren't you all aware that 3 years ago Dad went and gave ownership of the house over to my fiancé and said that he'd make the decisions? That was back when Dad's burger joint went under, and as a way of trying to not go into major debt, he sold the place to my fiancé because he was willing to let Mom and Dad stay there. My fiancé has been a realtor overseas and had the money to buy the place from Dad. And that's why they never went into major debt after the burger joint failed. But the plan was made a year ago to have that house, the house my fiancé owns now, torn down because the area is going to be used for an apartment complex. My fiancé was able to buy Mom and Dad a year, though, because he didn't want to stress either one of them with the plans he and the city had made. Yet they still haven't done anything? Both my fiancé and I have been telling Mom and Dad to find a new place to move into so that when the time comes, there'd be no hiccups, right? You heard about all of this, Parker, because you wanted to be in that group chat, yet you haven't actually been paying any attention to it? This is why you need to stop slamming back beers while you're with Mom and Dad and start getting ready to have them both moved out and into a new home. There's only a little while longer before the house has to go, so you get Mom and Dad together right now and start helping them get their things together. Tomorrow we're going to go through the whole house together, cleaning it all out and making sure everything is taken care of. By tomorrow night, I want Mom and Dad to have a new home picked out and be ready to go.
Yo, if we have to get all of that done by tomorrow night, then when will we sleep?
Since you 3 have procrastinated for a whole year, you won't have any time to sleep with these next 2 days now.
And as for the place they should be moving into?
Tell them to start looking for anything that can be ready for them in a few days. I don't care if it has to be an Airbnb or a rundown apartment. And if nothing is available, then you'll just have to shove them into a hotel for a while.
Then what about the moving company?
There are plenty of movers that can get to work right away if you call them 24 hours in advance. And you can have them take all of Mom and Dad's things and put them into storage for a month if need be.
But that'll cost them even more money.
Then how about you pay for all of that? I'm going to be honest right now. You're partially to blame for all of this since you decided not to heed my warnings.
Are you kidding me, Leah? Hey, Maya! You know about how I've been made to handle all the work needed to get my mom and dad moved out of this house, right? I've been wondering why this whole time you've done nothing to help us, and that's why I went and took a trip back to our house, and guess what I find? Divorce papers signed by you? What is all of this about?
Oh, so you made it back to the house?
Where the hell are you right now?
I'm out at a cheap hotel right now, staying here for a few days.
Huh? You staying at a cheap hotel now?
I planned on moving out, so I've been taking my time in order to find a place to move myself into.
You're moving out of our house now, so you actually want to go ahead and get a divorce from me now?
You already knew that when you walked in and saw the divorce papers I left for you signed, right? Come on now, man.
Why do you want a divorce, though?
You know the reason why. Because you just sat there and let your mom harass me that whole time and never once said anything about it.
That was just,
What we're going to talk about now is all the stuff that I learned about from Leah herself. Did you know that the reason Leah came back to the US in the first place was to learn about just how much your mom has been troubling me and acting like she can use me as her slave? Because that's what she's told me, and there was no other reason.
What?
She told me that things weren't as bad as she was suspecting, and she would have bought Mom and Dad another year or so before having her fiancé go ahead with the house's demolishing. However, the moment she came to the airport here, she realized that I was already being forced to do literally everything during my holiday with no time to relax in sight. And when she saw that your mom didn't have enough food for me, like with those burgers, well, she was able to see just how badly things had become for me within your guys' family. At that moment, she knew that she had to do something to stop this and gave me a chance to escape. So she told her fiancé to contact the city and tell them to go ahead with the plans to have your house demolished and get your parents out.
What the hell? What the hell do you think you're doing, acting like Mom has been harassing you this whole time? I was told that that was the way my mom planned on making you a good wife. Yet you and your misunderstanding has gone and left my mom and dad without a house and me without a place to go back to relax at.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding on your side, actually, since I wasn't the one who decided to do all of this at first. It was your sister, Leah.
Huh? She made the decision to do this?
She made the choice based off the fact that she could clearly see your mom was harassing me, and that it was her fiancé who's owned that house for the past 3 years. So she talked with him about what was going on, and their final decision was to have Mom and Dad kicked out so that the house could go ahead and be destroyed.
What?
Oh, and another thing. I'm going to assume that you took your mom and dad back home with you to the house to stay with us instead of putting them up somewhere?
Well, of course I've done that. I plan to have both my mom and dad staying in this house with us, and you won't have a say in that.
Not going to happen.
What?
I don't want to have someone that enjoys harassing other people living in the same house as me. I knew that that was going to happen, though, and that's why we're getting this divorce for sure now.
Hold the hell on!
My dad was very kind by introducing me to one of his friends who is a very respected divorce lawyer.
What? You have a lawyer now?
I'm sure that you'll be getting a call or email from that lawyer very soon here, so once you've heard everything he has to say, you can talk with him about what happens next in the divorce.
Wait!
Oh, and one last thing. I happen to be the one who rents that house, and I'm having the rental agreement ended next month. So you guys will have to leave there pretty soon as well and find a brand new place to move into.
What?
Hurry up and find yourselves a new place to go so that I can tell the landlord he can go and clean the house out for his next tenants.
What the hell?
That's all I had left to say.
Hold on a dang minute, Maya.
Goodbye forever, Parker.
Maya! What are you doing?
And just like my sister-in-law had been saying, she worked with her fiancé to have my in-laws' house demolished like she'd been warning them to prepare for. Leah had also told her family her fiancé's number in case they ever wanted to talk with him about any of the plans he had for the house, back when he had bought the place from her dad. But they never ended up asking or saying anything to him. After being moved into Parker's and my place, Parker soon learned that I was not joking about having a lawyer. And after some long talks about all of the things I had to endure with his mom and him, he was told he'd owe me a settlement. Not too long after Parker was informed about that, I received the settlement money and the divorce was able to be finalized. Unbeknownst to them, I had both audio recordings and video of Parker's mom harassing me, and of both Parker and his dad never stepping in to control it. So of course there was no chance at all for Parker and his family to fight me in court. So within a month, the divorce was over with and I was a free woman again. After being forced out of the apartment by the landlord a week later, they had to move into a dirt-cheap apartment that was close to 100 years old and had not seen any maintenance for the past 50 years. And just a few years ago, something bad happened there that appeared on the news. Those three got into a massive fight within that apartment and ended up causing so much damage to it and making so much noise that the police were called and arrested them. When I saw that news, I got one message from Parker, and all it read was, "Help." When that happened, I didn't even bother to actually open the message and just blocked him and his family's numbers before changing my number as well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.